very, very short version. Like I said, I have a three-part course that's like, total is about 4.5 hours, and we get to most everything.
I was gonna say, do I get like a grade or a gold star or something if I stay to the very end?
Actually, I don't have people that don't. There's just so much that needs to be learned. It's like they keep coming back for more. People don't get bored. It flies by.
I'm sure it does. But then how can people decide if they should go with a government subsidized or go with private options?
Well, first thing that we need to establish is everything Medicare is government subsidized. But as I said before, once you decide to start looking into your secondary, because Medicare doesn't cover all the costs by any means, you either need to should look into having a secondary that would be a supplemental that you pay for that's privately. And the thing about that is you might be paying one price every month, one premium, but it picks up. You can choose different plans, and you can pick up one that picks up most of the extra costs that would be involved in original Medicare. And well, I'm going to pay that one price each month, and I'm good. That's my budget. I know. And although, remember, drugs are usually separate. They're always a separate bill. Never shall the twain meet. There's always one price for one out-of-pocket cost for medical and one for drugs, and they're not under the same. It's two different sets of numbers. We'll just put it that way always. So, and then on the ACA, so you have a choice here, and it just depends on. Hold on, let's go back to Medicare. You always have a choice. The private insurance, sometimes you may have a higher out-of-pocket risk, because many plans we have for, say, C plans here, Medicare Advantage plans, may or may not have a premium, and they may give you more things that Medicare doesn't cover. Like Medicare, if you are losing your teeth, losing your hearing, or losing your vision, it's all routine in life, and Medicare doesn't cover routine stuff. Now, if you have an illness, sure, but there's a lot of other things, and Medicare Advantage plans, a Part C plan, may offer other things, but you may have technically an higher out-of-pocket maximum with that plan. So it's kind of do the numbers and see what's more important to you and what you can afford. As far as the subsidized versus private options on the qualified health plans, which are the QHPs, the ACA, so anybody who's not a beneficiary of Medicare could be enrolled in a qualified health plan. And in that case, there are different levels. When you go into the marketplace is healthcare.gov, and you would apply for your plan through the marketplace. You could also apply through an agent or an agency that actually offers marketplace. Many of the companies that are on the marketplace now have kind of backdoors into the system, so it's pretty much doing the same thing if you do an application with them in an office or if you just go to the marketplace and do it there. But if you have income that's between the poverty level, which is for an individual, up to 400% of the poverty level. So the poverty level is for an individual is 12,760 this year. So if you're an individual and you're making between 12,760 and $51,040, that's specific, that's 400% of the poverty level, then the government could give you some subsidies to help pay for your premiums for those plans, for the qualified plans. Now, qualified plans are the ones that offer essential benefits, that give you those no pre-existing conditions thing that everybody is looking for, and that give you your preventative medicine things included usually in them for zero copays. Usually it comes with an essential benefits plan. And if you can get a subsidy, it can help you pay for the premiums. Now, the qualified health plans can have higher premiums, and they can rate you if you smoke, and for your age. That's how they rate you. But there are published prices though. Every year the plans do their numbers and they put the numbers in the machine and they're good for the whole year. They will not change.
Well, that brings up a great question right here: is what choices can people make that will help keep their insurance costs down, in a sense? Because how do I know what option's right for me with the cost?
Well, if you don't have a employer plan and you have to go to find an individual plan and looking at your range of what you make, if you're making because it's done on your individual tax returns. It's all done through the IRS, and they're looking at the numbers that are on your individual tax returns, not your corporate ones, not if you're a business owner, not that sort of thing. They're looking at your individual tax and what you claim as for your individual income. So if you qualify for a subsidy, is say a family of four between 26,200 and 104,800 will actually qualify for some subsidies. In that case, you would want to go to the exchange. But I mean, say you're an individual and you're making towards the higher end of that. Say you're making 40-something thousand. You go to the exchange, and as you are older, you might have you get a higher price. That's just the way it goes. Every year, it's an extra special birthday present. Your insurance premium will go up because it's age rated. So and you're towards the high end of that, and you're like, well, my premium's going to be really expensive for that qualified health plan, and maybe I'm getting a little subsidy, but not enough to really help me and not afford that much. But I'm in good health, and I think I don't need to have that much insurance. And a lot of those people will go, okay, well, maybe I just won't get insurance and I'll chance it. Well, there is private short term. About a little more than a year ago, about 2 seasons ago, the government actually expanded the private short-term market. There had been a private short-term market out there ever since this started, which were basically, they were the old type of plans, the underwritten plans. Remember those? You would go and you get your underwriting done, and for that though, you would get lower premiums. That's the way it works. Well, those still exist out there, and that may be an option now that there's no more tax penalty, mandate for you to have qualified insurance. Going to a private short-term insurance, the government now allows us to write them for up to 3 years. So you can actually get plans on one underwriting, depending on the company. Some of them only do 2, but they're allowed to write for up to 3 years to have it renewable. So you do one underwriting, and that'll be good for 3 years. And these plans can have higher deductibles though too, and higher out-of-pocket costs, and they don't cover your essential benefits, but they do give you some coverage. They give you coverage the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
And then they and it can be a much more economical solution for people to just have a health insurance and maybe not pay so much in premiums.
Okay. Well, we are at the 2-minute marker because you've given us a lot of information, and I know there's much more, and I'm going to have you back on my show again because I think we might need to do a 2-parter for this. But at this point, Joy, I like to give all my guests a time to give my listeners a chance to get a hold of you. So if you want to give me your contact, email, website, go for it.
Okay. Right now, so well, I'm on the gun, so go for it. I know. He's got the gun on me. Okay. So, well, of course, mjoylfl@comcast.net is my email. I love it. With Medicare, I can't actually solicit people. I have to have people call me. My number's 941-587-3584, and call me or email me if they need to ask me questions about Medicare. I'm also very, very open to the ACA. You'll find me hanging out at ACE, teaching courses, Medicare courses coming up. I also will teach a little yoga in there. It's a great. Sarah, are you familiar with Sarasota ACE program?
I am not, but we'll have to look at that another time because we are up at time now. But I do recommend everyone get a hold of Joy for your Medicare. She is a wealth of knowledge, as we could tell. And like I said, we might have to go into a different episode for this just because there's so much.
Yeah.
But thank you, Joy, for being a guest on Socially Joe, and I look forward to having you back soon.
All right. Thanks.
Take care.